University Technology Mara, Malaysia, accompanied by Dr. Haji Abdul Kadir Haji Roslin, Rector of University Technology Mara, Sabah. Please be seated. Good morning to all our distinguished guests, Honorable Professor Dr. Haja Azni Zain Ahmed, Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academic and International Affairs, University Technology Mara, Honorable Dr. Haji Abdul Kadir Haji Roslin, Rector of University Technology Mara, Sabah, Professor Dr. Hanafi bin Atan, Chairman of the Council of the Malaysian Public Universities on E-Learning, MEPTA, Professor Dr. Muhammad Mustafa bin Muhammad Ghazali, Dean of the Faculty of Education, University Technology Mara, and Chairman of the Asian Center for Research on University Learning and Teaching, ACRILAT, Professor Dr. Nur Azia Alias, Director of Academic Affairs Division, University Technology Mara, Associate Professor Dr. Januddin Sardi, Director of Ireland, University Technology Mara, Deputy Rectors of University Technology Mara, Sabah. Last but not least, all the participants, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hyatt Regency Hotel, Kota Kinabalu, and especially to Sabah, the land below the wind. Thank you for gracing the Symposium on Teaching Excellence, Learner-Driven Learning and Academic Research, and the 5th International Conference on E-Learning 2015, or Stella ICEL 2015. My name is Marian Fong, and I will be your MC for this morning's ceremony. It is with great pleasure for me to welcome everyone to our conference and extend the warmest welcome to those who come from afar. You have indeed picked the right time to visit Sabah, as the whole month of May is a festive time to commemorate the harvest season, traditionally celebrated by the indigenous tribes in Sabah. If you have time to spare, I invite all of you to join in the celebration at Hongkot Khoisan, Penampang, especially on the 30th or the 31st of May. Stella ICEL 2015 is a joint event hosted by University Technology Mara with the help of the Kota Kinabalu Sabah campus. This event is also made possible with the cooperation of the joint organizers, Ministry of Education, the Council of the Malaysian Public Universities on E-Learning, MEPTA, and the theme for this conference is Envisioning the Future of Online Education. It is hoped that this conference will create a pleasant and comprehensive academic environment and opportunities for networking. To kickstart this event, we invite Ustaz Muhammad Fazri bin Ansun to recite the Dua.
شكرا إلى رئيسة المجلس. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. أيها الحاضرون والحاضرات، نحمد الله تعالى وبركاته والصلوات على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. إلى حضرة النبي المصطفى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم، وإلى أرواح آبائه أزواجه وذريته وأصحابه والتابعين وتابع التابعين لهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. شهد الله لهم من الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد صلاة تنجينا بها من جميع الأهوال والآفات، وتقضي لنا بها جميع الحاجات، وتطهرنا بها من جميع السيئات، وترفعنا بها عندك على الدرجات، وتبلغنا بها أقصى الغاية من جامع الخيرات في الحياة وبعد الممات. اللهم إنك خلاق عظيم، إنك سميع عليم، إنك غفور رحيم، إنك رب العرش العظيم، وإنك بر الجواد الكريم يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم بارك لنا وبارك في مجلسنا كونفرنس تنعسل في هذا العام 2015، ونسألك الله فينا وفيه رحمة والعافية والسعادة إلى آخر يا أكرم الأكرمين، واجعل بيننا قوة ونجنا من كل شيء سوء برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا أكرم الأكرمين. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا ولوالدينا وارحمهم كما ربونا صغارا، ولجميع المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم، والحمد لله رب العالمين. خبر الله منكم.
Thank you, Ustaz. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will proceed our event with the first keynote speech by Professor Dr. Haja Azni Zain Ahmed, then followed by the officiating ceremony. First, allow me to read her brief profile. Professor Dr. Haja Azni Zain Ahmed is currently the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academic and International Affairs, University Technology Mara. She has more than 3 decades of academic experience. She first joined as a lecturer in 1979. Since then, she has held various posts. She was conferred her bachelor's degree in physics and urban planning from Ashton, UK. Her MSc in solar energy from UKM, and her doctorate, energy in buildings, from Hertfordshire, UK. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we invite Professor Dr. Haja Azni Ahmed to deliver her keynote speech entitled Challenges in Managing Academic Ecosystems. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning to everyone, all the participants, the distinguished guests, the secretariat, and everyone here this morning. Welcome to Stella Isel. I'll start off with my keynote, which it is not, the title is not in the book because I wanted to give a surprise. So, you can't hear me.
For those who cannot, can you hear me now? Yeah. Even louder. May I ask Prof. Bib to sit in front? Or you can, tell me from time to time that you can't hear me. Can you see me? Thank God I'm tall enough. All the big people from UiTM are sitting at the back. Prof. Ibrahim, Prof. Isa, I cannot see you. And the very big people from UiTM, I'm very happy. I don't have presenting papers, but I'm very glad they want to listen to what our speakers have to say. And I love this setup because I'm on the same floor as the participants. The only thing is I hope all of you can see me. I normally would like to have a higher stage because I feel like I'm too tall and too high for all of you. But I prefer to be here. Is it all right with you, Bib? Yes. Okay. Now I chose this topic, challenges in managing academic ecosystems, because I feel that we cannot have everything in one conference or seminar. Stella is the first of its kind, and I hope that it will continue with several different. So I'll start off with a very big picture about academia and where we are in the whole event of things. It's not working. What is an ecosystem? Normally, an ecosystem is used for biological processes, natural, organic, biological processes. And these are some of the definitions of ecosystems. The first one is an ecosystem is a system or a group of interconnected elements formed by the interaction of a community of organisms with their environment. So imagine ourselves, we are organisms in an environment, academic environment, learning and teaching environment. The second ecosystem, the definition is the complex of a community of organisms and its environment functioning as an ecological unit. So we are all part of an academic community with the same vision, mission, and goals. The third definition is a community of living organisms in conjunction with non-living components of their environment, interacting as a system. The network of interactions among organisms and between organisms and their environment. I think the third one is the best definition. It's about the connections between us and the environment. So there is no differentiation when we live in an academic situation where there are people, there are students, there's technology, there are classrooms, there are buildings, and so on and so forth. So I think the third one is the best. So we can define ourselves living in an ecosystem. However, I believe that in an academic ecosystem, we have control over it. We can monitor, we can control, and we can decide how we grow. In an organic or biological system, it's natural. It's natural, the environment is natural, we have photosynthesis, plants growing, plants being destroyed, organisms, bigger organisms eating big organisms eating medium organism eating small organisms. So you can't control because it's natural. You have parasites, you have microbes, you have water, air, energy, they're all natural. But in our academic ecosystem, you have complete control. If it's out of control, then something's wrong. So I think that's the difference between a biological ecosystem and academic ecosystem. These are some of the elements or components in our ecosystem. First, we have the management. No, students, sorry. First, we have the students. The center of our activities, the students. Most of us forget about them. We always think about ourselves. I am here because I love to teach. I am here because the work is, you can go home at 5. It's not true, actually. I'm here because it pays well. But we never thought about I'm here because of them, because of the next generation. I want them to be people. But many of us, like Bib, sorry Bib, since you voiced out, now I have to call out your name all the time. So like Bib, she thinks a lot about people, yeah? She's very passionate, I think Prof. Azia, very passionate about children, well, I'm passionate about children because I have grandchildren. Now I'm worried about their education. So these are essential to our lives, essential to our ecosystem. So that's one cluster of organisms, if you want to look at it that way. And then we have the management. The management manages all the components in this ecosystem. Very important here. Okay? And then we have, you know that? The lecturer. The lecturer is the one who delivers the knowledge, who provides knowledge, who is thinking about what these microorganisms need, what type of food, what type of environment, what content to provide. Then we have the content, the knowledge. And then where do you find the knowledge? Well, nowadays, we're talking about envisioning the future. It's open learning, open education. You can find it anywhere and everywhere. Does it mean that the lecturer is becoming more important or less important? Does it mean that the students are learning on their own without us? Are we going to be obsolete? So it's changing. But those things, the outside, the external factors, are the ones that we may not be able to control. But we can control if we have the knowledge and the skills to control technology, to control the processes, to control what's happening, the technology. If we are in control of technology, we can control the ecosystem. We have the buildings, we have the support organisms, the productives, and the executives, the cleaners, the drivers, the security guards, and those people who make sure that everything is in place. The buildings, the laboratories, the classrooms, the physical environment. Then we have technology. What's missing there? Pictures missing, sorry. That one, I think it's about e-learning, and then networking with the world, the global. So these are finally, the information. You need information in order to put things together, and of course, between all these organisms, there are processes, regulations, and the quality assurance that make sure that we grow with excellence. So I think that's about what my lecture is all about this morning. It's about this ecosystem and where we are and what is happening. Now look at the national goals. Now how do we control that ecosystem? How do we shape and design that ecosystem? First, we look at our national goals. Well, in Malaysia, we have to follow national goals. I think in many countries overseas, the university design the goals. Here in Malaysia, we have the ministry designing our goals. I think in the US, there is no Ministry of Education. The universities design what they want to do with those organisms. But not in Malaysia. In Malaysia, these are the challenges. We have the ministry, and recently, in March the National Education Blueprint for Higher Education was launched. But thank God, the main product of this blueprint is to produce holistic, entrepreneurial, and well-balanced graduates. A few years ago, the ministry wanted universities to produce graduates with 21 kinds of attributes. And then during the last 5 Malaysia plan was 7 attributes, and now it's gone down to 3, but they are very tall orders. They're very tall orders. And the basic national goals are based on access, where 100% of students will be enrolled in schools, quality, the quality of education in Malaysia is to be in the top third, not the top 3, the top third. Top 3 is too tall an order because we are at the recent position for PISA, we were number 52. Now we can't hide it, it's all over the world. Everybody knows number 52 out of several hundred countries. So the ministry wants us to be in the top third, not the top 3, the top third, top 30%. Equity, 50% reduction in rural-urban gap. There is still a gap between the urbans and the rurals. So, reduction. Unity, shared values and experiences. Every institution provides different kinds of experiences. So we would like our graduates to have a similar kind of experiences so they can understand and they can survive in the real world. Efficiency, maximizing student outcomes within the budget. This is new. We used to have limitless budget. Now budget comes in. We're being cut. Right, left, center, top, bottom. So this is the biggest challenge, I believe, when we have to achieve so many things and then the budget is cut. So in our ecosystem, the biggest main challenge is the budget. How do we work within the budget? We want to produce wonders, excellent graduates, excellent education. And we have to pay for technology, we have to pay for new things, but it's a very big challenge. I'm not telling you how to survive this challenge or how do you overcome these challenges, but these are real challenges which all of us have to think together in this ecosystem. For the graduate outcomes, the simple 3 words, holistic, entrepreneurial, and well-balanced, they include, these are just the breakdowns of the 3 important words: leadership skills, national identity, language proficiency, either Bahasa Melayu or English, thinking skills is still very important, knowledge, of course, that's very, very important, and finally, for a well-balanced graduate, ethics and spirituality. I think many of us admit that the ethics part of our graduates are not so coming, and we have a problem with this, and this is also a challenge to us. We ourselves have to be role models. There are many role models through the social media, and we are not the only role model, but how do we make ourselves the role model for our students? So that's a big challenge, and the second challenge. Then we have university goals. You have to comply to national goals, otherwise you don't get any money from the ministry. Or the ministry come down, and we have this regular deputy vice chancellor's meetings. So we have the DG coming in and tell us, this university is not doing well, you have to do this, look at this university, learn from the best practices from other universities. So we have this ministry telling you, do this, do this, do this. Then you have the university goals. Each university have their own goals. Now our goals, we're planning for the next 5 years to establish a student-driven academic ecosystem to produce graduates that are versatile, industry and internationally preferred, scholarly and articulate. Plus, on top of that, the ministries telling us what they want us to produce. If I have spelling errors, I have to apologize because we have been very busy in the last few weeks. Convocation, 50 days of convocation, and then we were preparing for the self-accreditation, which is ongoing now. We had to run away from Sharjah to come here, and then we have to prepare for the autonomy status in the next few months. So I really apologize if my spelling mistake, because I typed very fast and I did the slides myself. That was a challenge to me. It may not be a challenge to you, but it's a challenge to me with the time that I have. I did it myself. So I have to apologize for all the spelling mistakes. Right, for our university goal, while producing visa, we need to have this ecosystem, student-driven learning system. We want to produce students who are well employed. Lectures must be competent. They cannot happen on their own. There must be excellent learning and teaching resources. Technology and infrastructure must be in place. International exposure must be given to the students. And there is a new kind of teaching strategy, which is learning and teaching modalities. We have to do things new. Right. For everything to work, I mentioned there must be processes, there must be control, there must be assurance, governance and policies. Governance and policies are very important. We cannot have lecturers running around doing their own thing. There must be a proper organization chart, who's in power, who is second in power, who is third in power. Then things can run. These are just examples. Then you have these academic regulations. In UITM, we produce like one regulation, one policy per month. One policy per month. So for our visitors and foreign speakers, I come from a university with 170,000 students. We have 12 branch campuses, 26 faculties, and 9,000 academic staff. So you need to have all this to keep everything in control. As I mentioned, in our ecosystem, it cannot be organic. People cannot be doing their own thing all the time, but we do allow for creativity. The guidelines are there, the procedures are there, but our lecturers, our staff are allowed to implement in a manner that is best suited for the environment. So running a big organization with thousands of microorganisms is a challenge. Staff excellence, that's another tall order. We are just microorganisms in this ecosystem. Staff excellence, we all have to be excellent to produce excellent students. So now we're thinking of ourselves, because to produce students, you have to be excellent yourself. So this is the challenge. Now, basically, our responsibilities are research, teaching, learning, professional service, academic leadership. We all know that. But not everyone can do all of that. Some of us are good in research. Some of us are marvelous at teaching and learning. And many others are experts. And they love doing all this training, others doing consultancy work and services to the community. So we appreciate and recognize all these types of organisms. Roles, as you know, these are the challenges. Again, don't tell me they're not challenging. These are challenges. You have to be the supervisor while you are the teacher. You have to be a researcher, and then you have to be a professional. You have to be a public, you have to provide public service, either to the students, to the university, to the government, to the world. You have to be an innovator, you have to be an entrepreneur, and you can also be an academic leader. Now, many of us can only be one of them. Some of us can be 2 or 3 of them. And very, very few organisms can do all. Perhaps if you have served in university for about 40 years, then you would have covered all those responsibilities. And that's a challenge, isn't it? Can you become one doing all this while only serving 10 years? It's possible, that's a challenge. Perhaps at the expense of your domestic life, the children, but it's a challenge. Balancing work and domestic life. Then in our university, this is just an example. We do monitor. How do you monitor the quality of the lectures? We have something called ProPens, professionalism of professional pensyarah, professionalism pensyarah in Malay, the professionalism of lecturers. So there is this tool that we use to gauge the performance of the lecturers in class, and we are giving a sort of rating. And we monitor at the university level, we monitor, as I said, in this ecosystem. You can control what happens, you must know how we are faring, and then we compare between faculty to faculty, we compare between campus to campus. We don't put them to sleep, no, we don't. We invite them to attend classes, extra classes, English classes, teaching and learning methodology classes, and so on. So this is how you manage the quality of staff. And then students' feedback. So in UiTM, we have all the students giving feedback about their lectures. So this is one mechanism where students can tell us whether our lecturers are doing a good job. Again, we make comparisons and we know the weaknesses. Here we can see that I've removed all the labels. It's just an example. One class where the lecturer is not doing so well in terms of engagement with the students or not using proper English while teaching. So we do detect all these weaknesses. And we invite them, we write to the deans and tell them, hey, this lecturer ABC is not doing well, so can you do something about it? Then we receive feedback from the dean saying, yes, we have sent this lecturer for extra training or given him or her a mentor to learn about the better methods of teaching. So this is one way how we control the quality of staff. We also control the performance of staff going for training. Again, we monitor, see who's come back, who hasn't come back, who has been terminated. And we do make a big deal out of this because it concerns a lot of money. We spend millions to send our staff for PhD training, but not many are making full use of that advantage or opportunity. So there are many policies that come out of these simple graphs. Bring it to the management meetings, and many decisions have been made because of the charts. When you monitor the situation, then you can improve the situation and make several decisions based on this. So these are the challenges. Well, I think most universities provide a system. Yes, not as she loves to tell people how she's doing. It's an online performance appraisal system. As usual, anything new that you introduce to the staff, they will resist. I do not know why, but they will resist. But this, at the end, simplifies the evaluation or assessment of a lecturer based on their outputs, not on the inputs, the outputs. How many papers they presented, how many classes they have taught, how many courses, how many consultancy projects, how much research grants, blah, blah, blah. And then it's all recorded over here and marks are given for the annual evaluation. And we've just implemented this at the beginning of the year. And over time, when everything is uploaded into the system, it will be used for automatic generation for promotion. So these organisms, they're not aware of what's good for them until they see the results, and then they will appreciate. That's normal. Then they appreciate what the management is trying to do. So again, these are the challenges. Dr. JJ, please sit in front. These are the challenges that you're trying to do something good, and no one appreciates, and you get all the brickbats. So you have to put on a thick face. So for the management, there's a challenge on how to deal with staff who are never satisfied. Just timely, yes. JJ, for those who do well, who are excellent in their work, there is a thing called awards. We have university awards, we have national awards, and Dr. JJ won one of them this year. You see these organisms, sorry, I've been using the word organism, JJ, because I want to remember that we are in an ecosystem. They need to be appreciated. All of us need to be appreciated. It's natural. It may not come with $1 million, but you feel good. You feel good, you receive an award, and then your picture appears and you tell everybody, don't you, Dr. JJ? Yeah, it boosts your ego a little bit. And you perform better as a result. It's not the money that counts, it's the recognition. So we need to give recognition. The challenge is, some people say, I'm better than him, how come I didn't get it? That's the challenge, how you deal with this thing. So you create more awards, okay? Then there are several teaching methodologies and strategies. Long ago, I think everybody knows this, we have this teacher-centered learning. Like me, I'm just talking down to you. Boring, isn't it? And then you're just listening. So this is what we've been doing for thousands of years. And then we went to student-centered learning. Student-centered learning, this is what we're all trying to do, but some of us have not managed to do this, don't even know what is student-centered learning. So our SUFO and programs actually have discovered that our lectures are not actually student-centered learning. I think JJ is also frustrated. So Prof asked me, why aren't you doing anything about our faculty? Why aren't the students being taught the right way? Why are our graduates not speaking well, no confidence? What went wrong? What went wrong in the classroom? Perhaps we're not even doing student-centered learning. We don't even care who is. I don't care, babe, from Nafisa, from Brahim. I know you're there, you're at the back. I know you're listening. So you have to know who's in the class, what their names are. In many of our lectures, I'm doing this because it's part of my job, I'm being paid for it. I just want to put my name as a person who's a resource person teaching this code, and then, I hope to get a promotion because of that. No, as I mentioned at the beginning, who's the center of all this? The students. Students. It's why we are here. It's the students. It's not because I love teaching. It's not because I love to be here talking. Here, I want you to know what their challenges. And then perhaps this is also a challenge for your exam, for 150,000 or 170,000 students. How do you? Yeah, Prof Nazia, she told me, Prof, you have to go for modalities. This is individual student teaching learning. This is a big challenge. Can we use technology to do this? Some learn by listening, some learn by writing, some learn, they use their senses to learn. Let me tell you a story. We were sending a few students to Oxford. We were selecting a few students to send them to Oxford for the international exposure. So there's one medical, from Nafisa, this one medical student who's in his second year. I interviewed him, and he's an excellent student. I asked him, do you find medical studies easy? He said, yes, Prof, I find it easy. How do you study? He told me, Prof, I never take down notes. I always just look at the professor or the lecturer, and I try to understand every word the lecturer is saying. I never take down notes. And he's a brilliant 10A student. And he says, then I understand. If I were to write, then I will lose focus on the subject that the lecturer is saying. And after the lecture, then I go back to the library and read up more about the subject matter. So this is how he learns. But not all students are like this. So if we were to focus on individual students, that's going to be a challenge. How do you use this kind of teaching and learning strategy if there are 100 of them in an auditorium? Do we believe this? Do you believe that? Yes, every one of us can learn, even those with dyslexia or, disadvantaged or, resources, there's nothing much I can say. There are all kinds of resources. The challenge is what kind is the best to our students? What do we want them to learn? Even if you don't teach them, they'll still learn. They will learn without us teaching them. So we have to provide the right kind of resources. Learning environment. Okay, we have Dr. Ramlan here from our office. You know very well Dr. Ramlan. We tried very hard to work together with the facilities and management people. That it doesn't work with a small classroom or with a classroom style seating. There must be new ways of arranging tables and chairs. There are many ways of providing a learning environment to students, but this is not happening. It's not happening. Because those designers are not working with us educators. And us educators say, it's not my job to think about how many LCD screens, how many tables and chairs. It's not my job. There are many lecturers who say that. It's also not my job to format the examination questions. So if it's not your job, whose job is it to provide an excellent learning environment? That's a challenge. I think this is what this Stella and ISAL is all about, to give us insights into new things on teaching and learning, technology, blended learning, online learning, and a lot of other things. And these are the new technologies that we can use for teaching and learning. Technology support, no. This is the kind of classroom I would like to have, but we don't have, not even one in UITM. Unless from Maza, you have any classroom like this? Darulin? Yeah, we only have a prototype because we were not involved in the design. We were not connected to the designers or the architect or the interior designer or those who we have PFI campuses. No, you're not even allowed to remove a label or replace a label. Something's wrong. That's a challenge. We want to move, but we cannot move because of even design aspects of the teaching and learning environment. Then we have, this is, I would like to mention this because we're going to launch it this morning. For a big institution with thousands or millions, if not millions of data, we need to manage them carefully. We have automated the academic information management system with the help of technology. There is a curriculum management module, examination management module, scheduling management module, and so on and so forth, even lecturers workload. So this will expedite and make our work more efficient. So we do need technology to manage information. This is something I would like to really emphasize on. In order to make ourselves excellent lecturers or teachers, we must do research. We need data. We need data in order to control that ecosystem. If you don't know what's going on, what's the trend, you're going nowhere. It's like a maze. So you have to know what you're going to focus on, then you are able to make those changes. So you must do research. So let me give you a lecture. So what's the purpose of research in education? First, it's is our role. We cannot run away from it. Generation of new knowledge for the benefit of mankind. Generation of new ideas, techniques, design, policies, methodologies, etc. We need research if we want to have new policies, new designs, new classroom. We have to do research. Whether it works or not, is it more effective? Even the temperature of a room, even the lighting of a room have an effect on learning. Creation of new, updated, and increased expertise. We ourselves, when we do research, our expertise is increased, we know a lot more. Institutional research for improved performance, decision-making, and formulation of policies. Overall increase, that's the important point, overall increase in the quality of learning and teaching. So, ladies and gentlemen, please go on and do your research. Research topics, these are real research topics. I'm sure I don't have to tell to many of you, but I'll give you some examples of how these research can help in our daily lives as lecturers or teachers. Topic number 1 is leaving college, rethinking the causes and cures for student attrition. Our enrollment is 150 to 170, but the attrition rate is every semester is 6,000 to 7,000. 6,000 to 7,000. Is it because we are keeping to our quality? Is it because they are fed up and they don't want to learn anymore and decided to go off elsewhere? Or because they just dropped out because the CGPA is less than 2? Or they failed one subject 3 times in a row? So we can always do a research topic on this. This is a real research topic I've taken off. Adults as learners, increasing participation and facilitating learning. This is for long life learning. We have to learn about the idiosyncrasies of working people, how they learn, because the attrition rate is most among those adult learners rather than the junior learners. Then we have 4 years in college, 4 years doing a degree, effect of college on beliefs, attitudes, and knowledge. This is about ethics and spirituality. Rethinking literacy education, the critical need for practice-based education. That's one topic. Lessons on the implementation of policy. Now we have many policies I showed you during the earlier slides. There are so many policies. Every month there's one policy from the academic office. But do we know what happens to the policies that we create? Was it good? Was it no good? Did it work? Was it more efficient? We have to do that. The effect of the implementation of our policies. Perhaps Dr. JJ, the ministry should be doing that too, isn't it? Because there's so many policies coming from the ministry. The effect of leadership on student achievement, we know that very well. If the number 1, the top person is excellent, then it really trickles down to the bottom. The validation and application of a new learning environment instrument to evaluate online learning in higher education. So these are just very, very few examples that we can get ideas from. All right, these are just examples. You need to have the millions of data I mentioned from our system. You can use all this information to improve student performance. Trends, postgraduate student enrollment. Are we doing well? Yes. Have we reached the target? Yes. Are we going down? Are we going up? Or do you want to maintain? You know, these are the decisions that you need to make. And we can use a lot of data information for this. Students, our lecturers who are on study leave for their PhD, are they graduating on time? So we need to monitor all this. Challenges, challenges, challenges. Finally, the final challenge is economics. There's nothing much for me to say here. We have to work together. How do we work within the budget? I believe this is the biggest challenge. We want nice classrooms, we want to have data, we need technology, we want to do research. All that needs money, don't you think so? I think 5 years ago we never thought about this. We thought money was easy to come by. And now we have to think about, we have to generate income. Now there's a lot of voices out there saying, it's not our duty to make money, it's the business people, not academicians. But how do you balance between trying to make do with what you have and wanting more that you want to have? So what's next? So we've got, this is examples of our university initiatives. I'm not going to say which department was responsible. They say Department ABC, you have to do this, you have to do that. I've put in red academic research and Stella. Stella, for the first time, Stella is a platform where all the research and data collection surveys done by our academic staff, and we share it at Stella. And these are the many things that we can do. Student learning support, branches, and this is from Aza's responsibility. She has promised to do all this, and I have to monitor her and evaluate her through Opal and see whether she can perform and produce what she's going to give. The development of the academia, not just the teaching and learning. So that's her challenge. So she has a mountain of things to do. This is just some of the initiatives for student mobility, as I mentioned, about exposure to international scene, and this is some of the initiatives. So you must have some planning and strategies in order to control that ecosystem. Otherwise, it's going to go out of control. Right, going back to our ecosystem, this year Stella will only concentrate on a few of the components, which are students, lecturers, and teaching and learning, plus open educational resources online. That's what we have combined with ICEL, and we need to have good data from good research to make us make good decisions. So Stella's theme will be learner-driven learning, teaching excellence, and evidence-based research. So with that, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think my time is up. And I hope I've given you something new to think about and do for the next few years.
Thank you, Prof. Azni, for such an eye-opening speech. We are all microorganisms coexisting in this challenging academic ecosystem. But whatever the challenges may be, our focus should always be on the students. We would like to extend a warm welcome to Associate Professor Dr. Jafar Jantan, Director of Academic Development Management Division, Ministry of Higher Education. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Prof. Azni will launch the Stella ISO 2015 and the Academic Information Management System, AIMS. And we would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Jafar, Professor Dr. Hanafi, Dr. Haji Abdul Kadir to accompany Professor Azni to the stage, please. Thank you. Sorry, I think Professor Azni still wants to talk some more. So we would like to invite everybody to take a seat.
You can have a seat in front. I just want to say some polite things. I apologize for that. So again, Assalamu alaikum and salam to Malaysia for those who just joined us. I would like to address Datuk Haji Abdul Kadir Muslim, who is Datuk. If you can just stand up and say hello to everyone. He is the Director of UITM Sabah and the host of Stella ISEP. Associate Prof. Dr. Jafar Jantan, I'm very proud to say he's from YTM and he's now at the ministry, a very important person at the ministry, producing all these policies. Then we have Professor Dr. Hanafi Atan, who is the chairman of the Malaysian e-learning. Dr. Hanafi, who is also the co-organizer. And then Professor Dr. Mustafa Ghazali, please stand up, who is the chairman of AFROLET, and also the Dean of the Faculty of Education, is also a co-organizer. Thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored to welcome all the delegates to Stella ICEL 2015, and we are also delighted to co-host ICEL, which is the 5th ICEL, International Conference on E-Learning, in this beautiful city of Kota Kinabalu. And Marianne represents the beautiful ladies of Sabah. And our partners are the Ministry of Education, who have partly supported. And I need to mention, that's why I wouldn't want Dr. JJ to start pushing the button, because I have to say thank you before we do that. ARCAP, the Higher Education Leadership Academy, the representative is not able to come today. The Asian Center for Research on University Learning and Teaching at AFROLET, and also MOICTA, which is the Malaysian E-Learning Council. So this conference serves as a multidisciplinary forum for extensive discussion and dialogues between academicians and practitioners of online learning. I welcome all those participants from ICEL as well. I believe ICEL is the best so far, and we have more than 200 participants. It is because of the location in Sabah. Undoubtedly, the success of a conference lies in the commitment and sheer hard work of scholars, researchers, and various stakeholders who have invested their time and their thoughts as well as ideas. So we are pleased to announce that selected papers will be published in the conference proceedings by Springer. Others will be reviewed and considered for publication in either of these journals. Number one, the International Journal of E-Learning and Higher Education, which is a joint publication by Island Center from UITM Press. Number two, the Asian Journal for University Education, AJUE, a peer-reviewed journal by AFROLET. And we are also publishing a book with an American publishing company titled Student-Driven Learning Strategies for the 21st Century as an outcome of Stella ICEL. I hope the papers will be chosen or selected to be published in this journal. Finally, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to the keynotes and plenary speakers, our various partners and co-sponsors who have given their full support in ensuring the success of this event starting today. My heartfelt gratitude goes to the organizing committee who are all around the room, and giving in to my last minute demands. Thank you very much for your dedication and commitment in ensuring the success of this conference. To all here, I and Dr. Kadir have been communicating via online. We only met after many months today, this morning. However, without a meeting face to face, we are still able to put this thing together. So this is the beauty of technology, commitment, and the passion that we want to make something success. With that, I'd like to say thank you for those who are patient with my changing everything this morning, which they have done so much, and I decided to have it my way. So now we can have the official opening ritual. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Azni. We will now would like to invite again Prof. Azni and all the invited guests to the stage for the launching of ICEL and AIMS. Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, the Academic Information Management System, or AIMS, is a database that provides suitable access to all of UITM's approved courses and programs. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for from Asni.
All right.
When you're ready,
You want me to go? I'm tall enough.
you can just place your palm on the iPad screen.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, the conference is officially open and the academic information system is officially launched. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now watch two video montages prepared by Stella, Aisha, and Amy's team. What a splendid montage. Now, we would like to invite, one more. Oh, this one is for Ace, excuse me. Relax, this is one of the challenges. Thank you very much for the wonderful montage. As usual, in any occasion, hiccups do happen, and the hiccups are actually the true reflection of our university. But we will prevail, and we will get there in the end. Now we invite the Honorable Dr. Haji Abdul Qadir bin Haji Waslin, Director of UiTM Sabah, to present a token of appreciation to the Honorable Professor Dr. Haja Azmi Zain Ahmed for gracing our conference. Thank you, Dato, and thank you, Prof. Azmi. You may now take your seats. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our opening ceremony. We invite all our guests to enjoy the refreshments just outside the hall. Please be reminded that the parallel sessions for Stella and ISTEL will begin at 10:30 a.m. All presenters and session chairs, please be ready at your specified venues. Thank you for your kind attention, and we hope that you will have many fruitful sessions in this conference. Have a pleasant day. And we invite our guests of honor and the media for a short press conference at the Mosaic Cafe. Thank you very much.